Georgia seems to always have these elite offensive linemen who end up being starters in the NFL for a very long time. We have talked about their star tackle, amariusmims, who is hands down one of my favorite players in the draft class and is a guy who I think could be a star in the NFL. But they had some more production, particularly from the interior of their offensive line. Center sedrickvanpran has been with the Dogs for a few years now, and he has been incredibly productive for Georgia when he's been on the field. He is a guy who is getting some high praise entering the season, but where will he ultimately be selected in the 2024 NFL Draft? That is what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment and let me know which players you guys want to see me talk about in the next video, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at SVP. If you just look at the numbers for Van Pran, you'll think he's a first round quality pick. He has been absolutely fantastic over the last few seasons for Georgia. In 2022, Van Pran played 972 snaps and he only allowed 11 hurries and 1 hit on the year. His 2023 season was just as good, playing in 868 snaps and only allowing 13 hurries. He hasn't allowed a sack in over 2 years, and his production from the center position is absolutely absurd for a guy going up against legit SEC competition. When it comes to size, I absolutely love the frame that Van Pran has. He weighed in at 6'4", 298 pounds at the combine, but when he played, it felt like he was closer to that 315 pound range. He has massive arms, and he has a really great frame for the center position that I was pretty impressed by. As a run blocker, that is where I think Van Pran was at his best. He did a very good job as a lead blocker in the run game, and he opened up some massive holes for his running back. He was able to get to the second level quickly, but he landed blocks with strength and power. Georgia preached finishing, and Van Pran knew how to finish off a run block, and that was something that I was pretty impressed by. Van Pran also has very good footwork. His feet never stop moving, and he is continuously shuffling his feet in pass protection. Sometimes, you'll see offensive linemen stop moving their feet altogether after they make contact with the defender, but Van Pran doesn't do this. He has a strong anchor and seems to play pretty balanced for the most part. There are some concerns I have with Van Pran, however. For one, sometimes in run blocking, he will play overly aggressive, and that leads to him missing his assignment and just losing his balance. I want to see him be a bit more disciplined in that area and not be looking to finish before he has even landed his block. Another thing that worries me about Van Pran is his athleticism. His lateral quickness is not very good, and he feels really slow at times. He gets to the second level, but he doesn't do it very quickly, which is what I like to see. He is a bit lumbering, and while he is good, his slow speed could cause him to slip down boards just a bit. The last area with Van Pran that I am not a fan of is that he does have some inconsistencies in terms of pass protection. Whether it be hand placement or in his stance, I want to see Van Pran be a little bit more polished as a pass blocker, especially because that's the direction that the NFL has been going. Van Pran has had some insane production for Georgia over the last few years, but when you turn on the tape, I don't think he wows you as much as his numbers lead you to believe. I think he's going to be a decent player, but he just needs to refine his game a bit. He is my number 9 interior offensive lineman in the draft. I think he can and probably will be a very good player, but again, his athletic numbers scare me a bit, and his technique is just a little bit inconsistent. Van Pran is a great run blocker, and that's where I want to see him play in the NFL. That is where I felt the most impressed with his game, and I don't want to take him out of where he feels comfortable. So I think Van Pran would fit best in a run-heavy offense as a lead blocker. My player comparison for Sedrick Van Pran is Tennessee Titans' newly acquired center, Lloyd Cushenberry. Both of them are very big humans who have big arms and have been very productive in their own rights. Cushenberry has been one of the most underrated players in the league for Denver over the last few seasons and has been one of the few bright spots on that offensive line in both the pass game and the run game. At his peak, I could see Van Pran having a very similar impact to what Cushenberry has had in the NFL. Sedrick Van Pran is very interesting. He has some incredible numbers, but athletically, he doesn't check all the boxes for me. Lucky for him, there are a number of center-needy teams in the draft, and I don't see him getting out of the third round. Ultimately, I believe that Sedrick Van Pran will be a top 100 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.